Oregon law contains a unique provision that allows a citizen who has been the victim of a driver violation of the traffic or vehicle code to file an action themselves, just as if a police officer had ticketed the offending driver. And it's a way where law enforcement either can't or won't take the resources to mount and create a prosecution of a dangerous driver, to take the law into our own hands but in a lawful way, and to initiate a prosecution so that the driver is actually ticketed into court, and then there is a traffic trial, just as if a police traffic officer had provided them with a ticket, in front of a judge, with the citizen being the prosecutor and the driver in a position where they defend themselves or plead guilty, whatever they decide to do. They have a right to counsel, and if they do have counsel, they've hired a defense lawyer, the district attorney or the city attorney will represent the bicyclist or the pedestrian. And it's not something that applies to, for example, a traffic crime like reckless driving, but for careless driving, failing to yield to a bicyclist in a bike lane, a dangerous left turn, failing to stop, those types of traffic violations or infractions, those can be prosecuted by a citizen. And oftentimes when a bicyclist or a pedestrian is injured, and we can foresee that if there's an insurance company involved, that the driver's insurance company is going to claim that the bicyclist or pedestrian was mostly at fault, and where law enforcement has not ticketed the driver, the motorist can be ticketed by the victim of the bad driving, the bicyclist or pedestrian, brought into court, and they could plead guilty, of course, if they want to, or they can be convicted. But that will assist later for the victim of the driving to go to the insurance company and demonstrate that in fact there was a ticket and a conviction for a violation of the traffic vehicle code. So this is a very important law for evening the playing field so that motorists are held accountable. This is particularly important because many times police resources are stretched so thin that intersection collisions are not fully investigated unless the pedestrian or bicyclist goes to the hospital in an ambulance. Oftentimes there are fairly serious injuries that occur in these types of collisions where there just is nothing besides facilitation of exchange of information by the police. If folks are interested in finding out more about it, we've created a pamphlet and placed it on our website, which contains sort of a how-to guide on how to do one of these prosecutions yourself. You can also take a look at the law. ORS 153.058 is this populist opportunity to open the courthouse to folks who are representing themselves without a lawyer. If you take a look at the materials, you will see that you can do this yourself if you're willing to take the time to educate court staff and folks in the traffic system about how it is that you do it. It's an important part of our rights as non-motorized users that we have the opportunity to take advantage of this important law.